Who's a good boy? Right, I think if I've done it right, we're actually on live for a change. First time ever. So I thought I'd go, well, there's loads and loads of questions for people coming in about the Peter Rabbit 2019. And I'm out of puff. I just had to rush out to the garden. I put the hose on to top the pond up. And I've left it on too long, and I've just sort of flooded the pond, and had to rush out there in case I started killing the fish and they were coming out. But anyway, we got there in the end, didn't we, mate? Ian, can you have me a shout out? Of course I can. Who is it? I can't see. Oh, now I come too far away from the screen. Oh, so it is working then. Nice. Can you say that again, whoever that was? Go on. And I will be more than happy to give you a shout out. But I couldn't read you because of my glasses. And I can't see how you get the comments. How do you see the comments on this? What's that button there? What's that do? Who wanted a shout out? Where's the comments? There ain't none. Are we even live? Did I even know we're here? Hey? My beauty? Yeah. You wouldn't believe that this fella was in a cage for 6 months. Liam collects. Cheers, Liam. Yes, have a look. I had a look at your site. You've got about 40 odd subscribers, and I think we should get you a few more. You know, I think you're one of the young ones. Would I be right in assuming that you're more of a youngster than you are more of an oldster? So, do you need any volunteers for Peter Rabbits? Hello, Kian. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We still want another 10 to 15. But the thing is, it's really important. You have to join the site. Yes, I'm almost 11. Ah, I thought so. I thought she was a youngster. Well, we ought to give you all the help we can because you know, you're 11 now. Imagine you carried on doing this for the next 10 years. Imagine what kind of following you'd have. Imagine, you know, at your age, oh my goodness, if I only knew what you know, because you've picked up some stuff and you're only 11. Crikey, if I knew that at your age, oh my goodness. I will do a video on Friday at 5, why not? Liam Collects is going to do a video on Friday at 5. And if you just search on YouTube for Liam Collects, you'll see he's only got about 40 subscribers. And apparently you can't do this kind of thing. You can't do live stuff unless, belly rub, unless you've got 1,000 subscribers. Andy's nearly there in the coin cupboard, Andy's coin cupboard, so pop along and see him. He's only got a few more to go and he hits 1,000. So let's get Liam up there as well. Alright, let's get Liam up there. Liam Collects. Right, and Liam, you feel free to come on my channel anytime you like and leave a post and say in any of your posts, I won't consider it spam, I promise. You can leave a post and you can say, come over and see me. Don't leave one on, you know, loads and loads, but every now and again, leave a post. Why not? And if you see me on alive, then you come on and say, give us a shout out, and I will do. I will do a live stream when I get to 1,000. Yeah, it's going to take a little while, but we've got to do our bestest. All right? Got to do our bestest, get Liam up there. He's only 11. Imagine if you, oh my God, I say this to so many people. Someone like you, Liam, right, age 11, if someone like you, at your age, was able to get a handle on what coins were worth saving and what were worth keeping, you could pay your mortgage with it. Through life, you could pay your mortgage with it. Start now collecting all the change. Every time you see uncles and aunties, 11 years old is a brilliant age, you see, because you can go up to uncle, you can go up to mum, you can go up to dad, and you go, come on, let's have a look at your change. And they won't mind, because they know you're not going to take all of it. You're only going to take the little ones you want. But them little ones, they're all worth a couple of quids. So all them pennies they're passing over to you, and 10p's are passing over to you that are worth couple of quids. You put them all aside, you're going to have to make a few quid when you get a bit older. I often say to people, you could pay for your, if you started, like when you got a kid just born and stuff, you know, if you started collecting all the money, then you do, Kian's, is it Kian? I think that was Kian. Then you do well. Kieran's only 14, and pardon me. And yes, we are still looking for volunteers. I think though 14 is a bit young. We can't have any children putting them out. I don't think. I think that I don't know where I stand on that. To be honest, that's not me knocking you kids. Please don't take it like that, because I do know what it's like to be your age, and you know you need sometimes when, especially when you get to your age, sort of just coming into the teenagey bit. You know, you're still a kid, but at the same time, you want people to take you seriously. You know, and I get that, and so on. So, but you can't put them out, not yet. Maybe on another one, but not this one, because I'm not sure. As I say, I'm not sure where I stand with Litlands putting them out. Why'd you go over there, Casper? I've got my Scotch and Coke ready. Now, you might wonder, look at the state of me. It's like, oh God, this house is just like Casper, my goodness. It's just covered everywhere, all the time. We hoover it up every day, and every day he does it again. 10 minutes after I've hoovered. Anyway, so you might be wondering why I'm sitting here like a lemon. Bloody out. Must hold it in. Then it's only because I've been let loose. Because Fran's gone off for a couple of days and I don't know what to do with myself now. So I've come home and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I don't know. So I've been trying to figure out how to do the live thing. What's your Bungle? Nice to see you, mate. Bungle collects. He's nearly on 500. Nip over there, quick. Nip over if you ain't joined him. Nip over quick and then come back. Right? Nip over, subscribe, come back. Get him to his 500. Let's get Bungle up to his 1,000. Back to 500. Let's get him up to his 1,000. That's what we need. And then Bungle can do some live feeds. See, I tried to do a live feed earlier on, and I did it. It's in the bloopers that I put up tonight. I tried to do a live feed, and what happened was, it came up on my phone. He said I couldn't do it. Well, I wasn't allowed. So we've been investigating this for the last sort of couple of hours just to see if we could do it. And so being as I'm here and I'm here on my own. I mean, if Fran was here, I'd never be allowed to do this time of night because this is into family time now. So I wouldn't be allowed to do this. But because she's not here, you know, while the cat's away, the mices will play. And while she's gone, I've got the chance for me and Casper to sort of watch loads of Man TV and do whatever I want. And I'm just flicking off notifications. And so I thought, well, I'll try this. See, otherwise I'll have to do it in the day, and I don't have the time during the day. Are you planning on putting any other uncirculated coins into circulation? Yes, I am. All 35 of them. Kim, Liam Cleggs, I love your channel. Thanks a lot, Liam. I want to put all 35 out. But, you know, I mean, look at me, right? This is me. This is, you know, whoops. This is me, as you can see. We ain't got any, like, you know, we're not living on 20 grand's worth of furniture and things like that. We haven't got gold-studded whatevers. You know, just normal people running a normal business in a normal house. So, I want to put all 35 coins out, but I'll be straight up and honest. I haven't got the money to put all 35 coins out. As much as I want the publicity from all 35 coins, I haven't got the money to put all 35 coins out. But what I have done when I challenged them in and said, if you don't put them out, we will. I will put every single coin into circulation just for the stunt, just for the publicity stunt, just for the extra marketing, just to get people interested, you know, and get people looking at their change. Because where we are now is we're in danger of people just not bothering. You know, 35 coins is too much. 35 coins is way too much. Not released. Way too much. That's just money grabbing, and it's wrong. And you're getting people worked up all over the country. Worked up. Check your change. Look at the change. And then suddenly you go, oh, yeah. But what we're going to do is we're not going to release these because we just want your money. And I think it's a bit much. Don't get me started on them. You know, at the end of the day, don't get me started on them. I was going to roll a fag, and you can't do that online, can you? I need to have that on the side so I can have my little smoke, and I can go around like that and come back. I shouldn't be smoking really, but you know. So it all depends, the answer to that question, because here's the thing, advertisers out there, right? So an advertiser will happily pay 3, 4, 5 grand for an advert, 10 grand for an advert. I mean, look at some of these big companies, they'll throw £1 million at an advert. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, think of this. The likes of John Lewis, right? And we've got used to the John Lewis ads now every Christmas, and the Marks and Spencer ads, and they're all doing it now, aren't they? They all do this, they try and make this wonderful, wonderful Christmas ad. Now, just follow me for a second, right? So these people, they spend like a fortune on this marketing. So let's just round off a figure at £1 million, right? So supposing a company out there was quite happy to chuck £1 million at marketing. If they was happy to chuck £1 million at marketing, and you could take a coin like, let's say the Spitfire, one of the RAF coins, and you could take one of those coins and you say, well, every coin costs a tenner. So if we release 10,000 of those coins into circulation, that would be £100,000. So for a small £100,000, which is massive to the likes of me and you, I must admit, but for a small, but to them it's nothing. To these big businesses, 100 grand is absolutely nothing. So it's pittance. So if they threw 100 grand at it, what they would get out of it is complete and utter national advertising. I mean, look at the way the Peter Rabbits took off. So if a company come to me and said, look, we'll throw £100,000 at this marketing, like, what do you think? I'd pick a coin with them, and I'd pick a circulation figure. I'd say, well, we'll pick a figure, we'll pick a coin, and then what we'll do is we'll on a marketing campaign, on a publicity stunt, we will release that coin into circulation. That's exactly what I would say to them. Now, let's just pick a name for that company, right? Whatever company that is. So shall we say that company's called T-Shirts Are Us, right? So a company called T-Shirts Are Us comes along and says, yeah, I'll have some of that, Ian. So once that happens, once that publicity stunt happens, forevermore, that coin will be associated with T-Shirts Are Us. Forever. Every time that got in print, every time a newspaper picked up on it, every time, and people talking about it all over the country, they would go, good for you, 2009 Paddington coin. It's not going to be, I don't think, like Bungle, I think that's going to be a close one. I don't think that's going to be seriously excessive, Liam. I think the new Paddington, especially the one that we just had, what is it, the one at the Tower, I think that one is going to be, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll take a mad stab in the dark here, and I would put that in the same mintage figure as a Puddle Duck. That's what I would put that, or Isaac Newton. I think that if I was going to guess at where that's going to be, that's where I would guess that that's where that's going to be. And all the people at the moment selling it for £1.50 and £2, you know, that's what I think anyway. So getting back to, so I think if a company got involved, that company, Sherlock Holmes ain't never going to be valuable. Sorry, Liam. It's only ever going to be any good to a collector or someone who wants... If you've got brand new ones, that's different, because the market's always there to sell it to people to write... no, I don't think it'd be rare at all. But uncirculated coins, even if they're not rare, so you pick up a Sherlock Holmes and it's in brilliant condition, like lovely uncirculated condition of what we think of uncirculated condition, things like that, or you get bags of them. I wouldn't throw it back unless you can't afford it. If you can't afford to keep them, obviously you've got to throw them back. Good evening. Thanks, Andy. I don't know how I did it, and I forgot what I was saying now. I don't know how I did it, but it just sort of it wouldn't let me do it. And then I tried it. I tried it on my phone. It wouldn't let me do it, and I tried it on the iPad, and it wouldn't let me do it. So anyway, I forgot where I was. I do that all the time. I forgot where I was. So anyway, the point in that was, if an advertiser was to get involved, I mean, look at this one. The Peter Rabbit, Paddington at the station, uncirculated coin 50p. Yeah, well, I'd keep hold of it, but it's never going to be valuable, Liam. You know, there's too many of them. When it gets to more than 5 million, you can forget about it, I think. Because, you see, the thing is, when a coin is over 5 million on a 50p, as far as I'm concerned, watch a nationwide coin hunt. Here's another one as well that's well into it. Have a look at him. They won't be valuable because they make too many. If it goes over 5 million, then as far as I'm concerned, it's easy to find. And if it's easy to find, you don't need to stock up on it. Simple as that. Because the bank is your stock room. Leave them in the bank. If they're too easy to find, no point. You know, you might as well, you can get hold of them at any point. So no point saving them. But it's all changing on a 50p as far as I'm concerned. But again, you see, like these guys like Bungle, Andy, and Nationwide Coin, and Coin Collection, Liam, and all these people, they're all doing this thing, YouTube stuff. They're doing this from a different perspective than what I do. So what you get from me is you get the eyes and ears of a retailer, because that's what I am. I'm here to make money. I get slated left, right, and centre for the fact that I try and make money. Somebody was sending me all sorts of posts today, where I'm getting slated on Facebook, and one of the people slating me is actually one of the moderators for the Royal Mint's swap shop page on Facebook. Yes, you can, Liam. Liam Collects. We've got 15 people watching, so Liam Collects. Go and give him a couple of subscribes. I'll subscribe. If I haven't, I will subscribe to you, Liam, if I haven't done it already. See, I forgot what I was saying again. Which 2018 Beatrix Potter do you think will be the rarest? The one munching a carrot? I think it will be Peter Rabbit munching a carrot, or it will be Flopsy Bunny. Yeah, Nationwide Coin Hunt, he thinks Peter Rabbit. I think it will be Rabbit munching a carrot or Flopsy Bunny, because they're the two hardest ones to find. Radish. Is that what you're having for dinner? They're too hard to find. Tittlemouse and the other one, reasonably easy. But Peter Rabbit and Team Peter, yeah. 2018, Peter Rabbit, yeah. These are the ones. These are the ones that are going to fetch the extra money. And you'll probably find they've got a lower mintage. So people ask me how I do it and stuff like that. And I looked at the mintage figures when I wrote the... Oh, radish, yeah, he's eating a radish. I know, I always call it Peter Rabbit eating a carrot, but he's actually, yeah, it's peed off a load of people because he's actually eating a radish, and the Beatrix Potter community didn't like it. You know, they thought he should be eating a carrot. Anyway, my own formula for 50p's is different to my formula for £2, if you saw my £2 video. Now, I did make a cock up in the video because I was going on about the 2007 and 2002, and then later on in the video, if you got that far, you would have seen that I corrected that, because I was thinking at the time of 50p's. See, 2002, 2007, 50p, Britannia, people throw it back all the time. Now, what I say is, yeah, no worries, that's great, thank you very much, Nationwide Coin Hunt. Team Flopsy. So we got, what we got then? We got some of you going, yeah, Team Rabbit, and we got the other ones going, nah, Team Flopsy. Love it, love it. Yeah, so I'll give you my own personal formula, right? Now you can, when I go chirping away on my videos and stuff like that, I you know, in a sense, take what I say with a pinch of salt, because you have to make your own mind up on what you do, right? I'm not in control of your finances, same as you ain't in control of mine. So I can't tell you, no one can, what you should be. Thank you very much, Nationwide Coin Hunt, that's very kind of you. Me and Bungle have a bet on which one will be less minted. Yeah, I'll come in on that. Because I'll come in on that and I'll go for Flopsy. Yeah, he says Peter, I say Flopsy. Yeah. I'm with you, Dave Vangle. I think Flopsy as well. Uh, Literally by the amount that we found or didn't find, and again, we've been through tens of thousands. Come on, you want to come up? They want to see you. They're missing you. Come on, I'll give you a treat in a minute. Come up. If you come see Dad, Mum ain't coming home yet. Come on this end. Oh, we're being like that, are we? You know your treat's not due yet. I missed that one, Team Peter. You know your treat's not due. You should be the other way round. Look, you're adoring public there. Want to see you. Mine should have gone up by 12 by now. Hey, Scott says Peter Rabbit. Yeah. So you're going to sulk now until I give you a treat, aren't you? That's outrageous. That is. Fluffy tail. It's outrageous. When he came to us, when he first came to us, he was in a cage for 6 months in Spain. Nobody wanted him. I'll come back to my formula in a minute. Good evening, UK Coin Hunt. Nice to see you. Right, I'll come back to that in a minute. Oi, you made me jump then. Be barking. When he came to see us, did you see he had a little... He didn't make me jump. But when he came, he was in a cage for 6 months in Spain. Nobody wanted him. And if you took one look at his face, you probably wouldn't have wanted him either. He had... The photograph they took made him look a little bit on the sort of psycho side, really. He's got this look to him. And it's only because there's a thing in your eye, and it's called a whore, or an oar, or a whore. And I know it's not a very nice name, but that's what it's called, right? It's in here somewhere. And he's got, instead of two black ones, he's got one black one, one white one. So that makes him look like he's got a dodgy eye. So he looked a bit evil. And when he came to us, you could not touch his tail. You could not touch his tail. He would and all that, all the time. Wouldn't let you go near his tail. And in the last, we've had in, how long we had you? 4 years? We had you about 4 years now. And it's taken 4 years to get this far, isn't it? And you're still not too sure, are you? I love you. I know. Oh, I've cut myself. It's all the tablets I'm on. Oh. I'm like a bleeding haemophiliac. I've only got to nick myself and there's claret everywhere. It's because of the heart attack. And I'm missing some of these. Do English people believe that there is no such thing as Scottish notes? Well, get me started on that one and all. When I first come to Weymouth, we've been here 15 years, I had a stand-up row with a coffee shop owner on the seafront because I am Scottish, and what are Scottish notes? Scottish notes are banknotes, £5, £10, £20. And thank you very much. He is a beautiful dog. And I had this stand-up row at a coffee shop because I gave him a Scottish £10 note for a cup of coffee for me and Fran, and they poured the coffee. Even now, and this is like 15 years ago, and it's sort of, just to think about it makes me annoyed. They poured the coffee, and then they went, you've got to give us the money. So I went to pay them and give them a £10 note. They wouldn't change it. No, I can't accept that. Ooh, might be dodgy. Ooh, can't accept, it's Scottish. And it's like, what? It's money. It's sterling. It makes no difference. They accept our money up there. Can't accept it because it's Scottish, honestly. And they ended up throwing the coffee down the sink rather than give it to me because they wouldn't accept a Scottish note. Never been back there since. Wouldn't give them the time of day. I wouldn't wee on them if they were on fire. That's how I felt about them after that. Got to be careful. There's children's. Mustn't use any bad language. Yeah, I did. I meant pound notes. So yeah, Scottish notes are worth money. Scottish notes are worth money. All you people up in Scotland, you have no idea. You're on a little gold mine. Because the further south you come, the less Scottish notes you find. I can go and get £5 worth of £20 notes tomorrow at the bank, and I might find 1 or 2 Scottish pound notes. If I go to Coventry and get £5 worth, I'll probably get a dozen. If I go up to Newcastle, I'll probably get 2 dozen. And if I go even further, I'll get a lot more. That's the way it goes. But do you know that there are I missed that, Andy. There are seven. I often say this, and I annoy people left, right, and centre. There are 7, 5, 6, 7 billion. Get your head around it. Billion people in the world. Billion, right? Billion. We have 70, 80 million of them in this country. The sad thing was you faked it, either the barman, and then it happened to just go for real. And then you got all these people around the world. They cannot go to a local bank and get a note. I just got approached by somebody in Hong Kong that wants me to get them a £50 Scottish note, uncirculated, with a particular design on it, and those £50 notes sell for £300 in China. Right, uncirculated. Now, the Scottish went one better than the English. Yeah, it is true, Andy. The Scottish went one better than the English, and they produce notes that have got something on them. There's these different designs. You've also got the different banks who make their own designs and so on. Less and less banks now. You do need to get me some notes, mate. I could do with some. I just had a load nicked. And all these people worldwide, they can't get them. So trust me, Andy, right, if you can't get Scottish notes, who can, Andy, right? Just try it. Just, what's it going to cost you? It's going to cost you the listing fee, a couple of listing fees, right? I'll even give you the couple of quid to test it out, just to prove a point. I'm not saying you're skint, I'm just saying I'll even pay the listing fees just to prove a point, which is go on eBay, get a couple of notes, get some nice good condition ones, put the fivers up for about $12.95, and put the £10 notes up for around 15 to 20 quid if they're good condition. And if you get any uncirculated ones, I'm telling you, Andy, put them up for $29.95 and accept an offer. And I promise you, I absolutely guarantee you that you will sell some. Now, you're not going to sell 20 in a week, but I guarantee you, each time one comes your way, you just put it up, put it aside, put it up, right? And you will sell some. And you will sell them at that price. £100 note for 150 quid, yeah. I'd charge more for £100 note. I'd charge 195 quid for that. I wouldn't sell it for 150 quid. It's not worth your time. Not as a business, because of all the expenses. You know, you've got to double your money. That's what you've got to look at all the time. You've got to double or treble your money. When you have somebody work for you, that person has got to earn you 3 times what you pay them. Otherwise, there's no point employing them. That's just the rules. You know, your self-employed rules have been about for years. But, so there is money in your Scottish money. I absolutely guarantee you of that. Just like, you know, put a listing up. I mean, I was talking to Andy earlier on, and I was saying to him about, you know, the per members and things like that. And so many people think there's too many of them and they're not worth selling. Let me tell you, they're worth £10 each. And, you know, I will buy them at £3 each. Anybody out there who's got any per members, I'll give you 3 quid each for them, because I'll sell them for a tenner and I'll make 3 times more money. Or alternatively, stick a listing up yourself. Stick a listing up and put per member, or per member remember, or remember per member, whichever way it is. And however many different ones you find, you want different listings for those. I missed the comments again, sorry. Whoever just commented a few minutes ago, I missed it. You will find that people will come along and they will buy them for a tenner. Worldwide, they will buy them for a tenner. Why will they buy them for a tenner? Because it's different. It's different. It doesn't matter that there might be 50% per members and 50% real, and it doesn't matter. What matters, what really, really matters, is that there are people, 6.5 billion people worldwide, out of which you've got over 1 million collectors worldwide. These people, I should be doing that on the thing. These people, they will pay £10. They don't want to be ripped off, and people don't consider paying £10 being ripped off. And this is how you've got to follow it, right? if you charge, say, what's remember an ordinary one worth? Looking at AA ones, do you really think it's worth it? What are you talking about, Scottish ones? Because if you're talking about Scottish ones, I absolutely think it's worth it. If you're talking about English ones, yes, I think it's worth it, because I've sold more £5 and £10 and £20 notes than you would believe. You wouldn't believe it if I told you the amount I've sold. So many. How many Kew Gardens do you have? None. I've got a waiting list for Kew Gardens. People paid me in advance for Kew Gardens, and I still haven't been able to supply them. I keep asking them, let me refund you, but they won't. So let me give you your money back. Have something else. No, I don't want anything else. I don't want my money back. I want the Kew Gardens. I don't take any more advance orders. If you've got one nationwide coin and you want to swap it for something, I'll swap it. Never paid attention to Scottish notes. No, see? How many people don't? You don't even pay attention to the money that's in your pocket. Let me tell you that. Because you don't. Because otherwise, you'd put, oh, nice. Well, I'll do you a deal for the two then. Because a £5 note, a man in Australia will give you 15 quid for an uncirculated £5 note. Well done. In my collection, if I get spirituals off, thanks very much. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, I've got to do this. Sorry, I've got to come back. Wait. Oh, excuse me. I can't do this and not say. You've just reminded me. If I get one, it's yours. Carl. Good. So pay attention. Carl, if you're out there, Carl, I'm just blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. In fact, you know, little tear comes to my eye now. And it did when I opened this letter. And I try and do it without blubbing, right? You might think this is nothing, but to me, this was like, this meant the world. Hi, John. They wrote to John, right? I won't say who he is just Carl. Watched Ian's video yesterday, and he was unable to show his 2008 Olympic handover coin as it had to be used to fulfill an order, which it did. It's one of the coins that I lost out of my collection because I oversold it, so I had to give it to somebody. Hopefully he will be able to keep hold of this one in his personal collection. Many thanks, Carl. And the guy sent me a Olympics Beijing handover. And I just silly, I know, silly, but oh my God, it just, you know, when someone does something like that, you can't put a price on it, can you? And that sort of thing doesn't happen very often, you know. But it's just mental. It's mental that someone would watch a video and what's the matter with you? It's amazing that somebody would watch a video and care so much, you know. I mean, I do this for a living. I never gave a toss about coins. I couldn't care less about coins. Stamps, I couldn't care less about anything. I've had so much stuff in my life, so much stuff, and lost it. I've had stamp collections that me and my mum used to have, and we collected when I was a kid, and she gave me all those stamp collections, and then someone nicked the collections. Someone was looking after them for me, and they nicked all the collections. You know, just seeing the sort of things that people do, you know. I mean, stop, enough now. Like, on one of the videos I put up recently, get a grip. going up to golf in a minute. Excuse me. Stop. In one of the videos I put up, on their own back, I didn't ask them to do it. They bought a pack of soup. Again, it's nothing, you know. What's the matter with you? It's nothing. They bought a pack of soup, 4 cans, right? And they put the 50p in and paid for it with a Peter Rabbit 50p. Can't see. And they bought 4 cans of soup with the 50, and they put extra money towards it. And then they yes, Liam Collects, you can have another shout out. Might stop me bubbling. And they Liam Collects, and they carried on the filming, and they took the 4 cans, which they paid extra money, and then they put it in for the poverty thing, for the people that need food and stuff, the food bank thing. Do you sign the change check of Peter Rabbit 50p covers? Yeah, I sign them, and I number them, and I date them on the date that I sign them, and I send off a proof of provenance as well with it. Yeah, they did that, and well, you just see how much that touched me. I mean, I can't believe that comes into the milk of human kindness, you know what I mean? That really is the essence, milk of human kindness, you know? For the sake of 50p. You know? I'll never get over it. I have in my life seen the very best of people. And I've seen the worst. I've seen some nasty things in my life. And these kind of things, they sort of, I don't know, put a band-aid on it, don't they? You know? And make it a bit better when you see that kind of thing going on. So, and I couldn't have written that if I tried. I didn't even think of it. I think it's a phenomenal idea that person did, and I didn't even think of the idea. And what a very clever idea that was. You know, I just give you the 50p's, let you do what you want with them. I don't tell anybody what to do with them. I just let people do exactly what they want with them. You can buy yourself a Mars bar, or you can make a phone call. You can do anything you want. And then people, you just leave it up to their own devices, and people, they just come through. You know? I was talking to, excuse me sniffing, I was talking to the boss of 288 Group. His name's Ian Glenn, and I was chatting to him about this idea, you know, about the Peter Rabbits. Oh shit! I keep missing. Imagine giving him over to me. Yeah, and when I was talking to him, yeah, I am imagining. When I was talking to him, he laughed. He found it extremely funny that I'd ripped open his packets, and well, he wasn't funny about the fact that I'd ripped open his packets. I think he was a bit peeved about that, to be honest. He didn't like that kind of publicity. But when I told him that that I'd inadvertently found a way to turn his empty rubbish packaging into ephemera, and that I'd classed it as art, done what I'd done, and put a letter of provenance to it, he cracked up. He fell about laughing. So, you know, so they all know we're doing it and stuff. But I thought that was a good one to share because he thought it was really funny, and he said to me, he said we did think of doing something like that. He said, but we couldn't figure out how to do it. He said, how are you doing it? And I said, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, on trust. I said to him, it's something that big business tends to forget. I said, these people out there all over the place, they're all trusting you, aren't they? They trust you with their money, they trust me with their money, they send me their money, they send you their money and through the post, right, and they're expecting to get this stuff, what you're promising to give them. Where's the trust go the other way? There ain't a lot of trust go the other way, is there? You know, you don't get companies like me and Ian Glenn and all the Unroyal Mint and all the rest of it. You don't get any of us going, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll send you the goods first and you can pay us afterwards. We don't do that, do we? So you know, you don't get the exact same trust, do you? Both ways. But so I said to him, I said the thing is, I just trust the customers. You know, try our best to make sure that they do what it is that we want them to do. But you've got to trust people. You've got to give them a bit of leeway. In circulation with a less mintage of Kew Gardens, do you think Kew Gardens price? No, it won't have anything to the Kew Gardens price. Sorry, I missed that one. Fast, I couldn't see it. It won't have make any difference to the Kew Gardens price whatsoever. What's happening? It's not going to affect that one little bit. How much is Jemima Puddlebuck worth? 10 to 15 quid. It's quick, isn't it? You know, 8 if you want a fast sale, 10 if a medium one, and hi Trixie, and 15 if you want to sell it, say within the next month or so. You know, it all depends. It's all a question of how fast you want to sell something. You know, which has nothing to do with the values. How much do you think the 2009 Peter Rabbit will be worth? Well, the ones we're putting in circulation, I reckon will be worth 100 quid the moment we put them in. Picked up your mama, pulled it up. Well done. The newspapers have misquoted me on that because I say the moment it goes into that machine, it's worth 100 quid. Now, that made a lot of people laugh. I was talking to Bungle about that. He cracked up. He's like, I can't get over this. But they are. And I put that value on it simply because I've already had some of you, let's try and get my head in, that's better. I've already had some of you emailing me and asking me if I'll sell one and offering me 50 quid to 100 quid for it. So there's your value straight away. How much is a Sherlock Holmes worth, please? Not much, a couple of quid at best. We sell Sherlocks on our site, £1.95. They're not worth a light. They put too many in circulation. Quite common, yeah. See now, this is where I get a little bit touchy with a mint, right? Because a couple of you might switch off now and go, oh, he's going to go off about the mint. But no. This is where I get a little bit touchy because we're told, you're told, and I'm told, we're all told the same thing. Sorry, can't put these into circulation because there's not enough. I've got your YouTube name mixed up on my shout out. That's all right, no worries. And I will have somebody else she was talking to. And now you won't quit YouTube, Liam. You'll get your 100. Don't worry. You can't rush these things. Trust me on that. You stay where you are, Liam, and you carry on slowly. You build it up slowly. Let me tell you, in a few years, you will have a good channel. Apart from the Kew Gardens, is the 92, 93. Missed that one. That's what it was now. Where was I? I think the mint does not count. Thank you. Yes, the mint. So you're all told, we're all told, can't put these into circulation, can't put the old Stephen Hawkins into circulation, can't put the... How many shout-outs do you want, Liam? I'm giving you shout-outs. You'll get your things, but you won't get them all in one go. 92, 93 is the other rare one. The dual date. So we're all being told, oh, we can't put these in circulation because there's no call for them. 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 So and then all of a sudden we get like millions of Sherlock Holmes getting dumped on the market, and we've got Paddingtons coming out now. So what? The Treasury didn't want any coins at the beginning of the year, or they just choose per month when they're going to get the coins, or are we expected to believe that there are a group of people sitting around a table at the Treasury and they're sitting there and they decide which one goes out into circulation? You know, so hello, the best ever. Hello, Doggett. She's saying hello to you. Look, you're not joining in, customers. Do you know what I mean? Got to be a little bit more interactive. We'll show them in a bit what you're like when you get a treat and how nuts you go. So we've got to expect that there's a group of people sitting at the Treasury, sitting around the table going, oh, you can't have any Sherlock Holmes go in the market, but you can have Stephen Hawkins, or you can't have any Stephen Hawkins, but you can have Sherlock Holmes. I don't believe it. I think we're being lied to. I think someone's pulling our plonkers, and I don't like it when that happens. I just think, no, just be straight. Be straight with everybody and tell them why. You don't need to do all this. Yeah, Andy's quite right there, Liam. You know, every time someone goes on a video, ask for a shout out. Brilliant. But not again and again and again and again and again. There's certain etiquettes and so on. And it's not, I mean, I don't care personally, myself, you know, but you will annoy the other people if they keep seeing your shout me things. So, so just bear that in mind, right? Just bear that in mind. You've got to do it subtly. What I call subtly. I mean, I'm as subtle as a brick, but you know, you've got to be subtle about it. Do you know what I mean? And do your content. Start doing some content. You're gonna, you know, go and wash a car. Go and wash a car. Go and knock on the neighbours' doors and earn a few quid. When I was your age, I was shoveling snow off the streets. I was helping builders shovel and mick up sand and cement when I was 10. So go out and earn a few quid. Then go and get a pack of coins, get mum to get you like 20 quid or 50p's when you go to the bank, right? And then do a video and sort a few, like Andy and Bungle and all the rest of it. That's the way you build your channel. You've got to do it, and you've got to do it regular. If you just keep asking for it, you won't get anywhere. Plus, people will just unsubscribe if they don't like what you're doing. You know, so that's not a bollocking. Don't take that as a bollocking. Let's just take that as like, you know, you're only 11 at the end of the day. Christ, you know, it's a minefield for you at 11 years old, you know. But there are people out there like Andy and Bungle and Coin Collects and all these people you know already because you're watching their channels, right? You take notice of these people, watch what they do, listen to what they do, and watch how they act, and that's how you want to act. You know, that's the thing about being youngster, is you look at people around you and you learn by them. So learn by these guys because they know their stuff. For what you're doing, they absolutely know their stuff, and they will help you. But they ain't going to help you if you overstep the mark. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. So yeah, do you really believe that there's a bunch of people sitting around the table and that go, oh yeah, Stephen Hawkins, nah, let's not release that into circulation. Sherlock Holmes, yeah, we'll tell the Mint they can release that. You know, job before me. Do you really think they're doing that? And if they are doing that, who's watching them? Because if there is a group of people that actually make these decisions, who are these people and who's watching them? Because these people know 2 years or a year before we do what coins are going to be rare. They've got advanced knowledge. Well, you will live stream, Liam, when you get to 1,000, but you've got to get there gently and you've got to get there slowly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I probably shouldn't say this to an 11-year-old, but it's like when you get a girlfriend, you know, you've got to take things slow, yeah? You don't just walk up to a woman and go, hello, I like you, let's jump in bed, let's get married. You don't do that. You sort of Slowly, 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 slowly catch the monkeys, they used to say. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Bit by bit, but regular, 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 and you'll get there, I promise you. Right, someone asked me another question, because all I'm doing is rambling and smoking on the quiet. Shall we watch Casper go nuts while somebody thinks of a question? Do you want a treat? You're going to love this. But don't leave any comments for a minute. Oh, I can't. Is it? No, it's Scotch and Coke. How many years do you have? Not many left. I used to have a DA. I used to have a Tony Curtis. I was a teddy boy with the old kiss curl and everything. I used to be a right bopper. Anyway, don't leave a comment for a minute, right? Because I'm going to show you Casper. You'll like this. Right. So, let's get you. You'll move off that couch the moment I open the door. What we got? Now you're only getting it if you do your stuff. What's this? What's this? Oops. What's this? What would you do for this? Now watch this. Can you see how excited he is? Right, I'm going to lift it up a minute. Watch this. Down. Down. Wait. He won't touch it. He will not touch it until he's told to. How's that? How's that for a well-behaved dog? I just put it on the floor for him and he won't even touch it. Who's going to be the first one that says he can have it? When somebody leaves a comment and says he can have it, I'll let him have it. About 5 he is. He won't have it until you say he can have it. Have it, he says. Go, he says. Go for it. Bungle says you can have that. Go on then. How's that? It's like, oh my God, is that what one of the best controlled dog, well-behaved dogs you've ever seen? Yeah, it was Piggy. Yeah, he only gets one a day, one treat a day, and that's it. He don't get anything else, just gets his dog food, what he's supposed to have in the morning and in the evening. Fluent in English, he's not bad as it happens, considering he's Spanish. Still confused to why coins have their mintage figures lowered, because that's the Royal Mint playing silly buggers. That's people at the Royal Mint earning loads of wonga. That's what that's all about, and I'm not frightened to say so. I've been calling them out for this for over a year now, and they still haven't sued me. And I've been saying to them, sue me, sue me, sue me, but they still won't sue me. And they won't sue me because I'm telling the truth. There's too many people earning too much money. You know what they say in the films, don't you? Follow the money. That's what they say. Follow the money. That's what you got to do. Just follow the money, and you'll see where it leads. If somebody was to follow the money, they'd see where it leads. So, yeah. That's what I think about that anyway. It's 31 people now. I ought to take that mirror down. Turn that, no, if I turn that light off, it'll get dark. I'm going to have a puff. What for you interested in selling coins? Sorry, Andy, didn't get that quite right. Hot air balloon. Oh, you wouldn't get me up in one. There's nothing that will convince me to leave the safety of the ground. What got me into coins? Andy, seriously, do you not know? You don't know. I'll tell you. Bungle's going to go, here we go again, because he's heard it already. So you got to picture the scene, Andy, right? It's 7 years ago, and I am on my arse like you would not believe. I've just been made bankrupt, trying, ironically, to get a bankruptcy project off the ground to help people that were in bankruptcy situation and in debt. I was so passionate about that, still am. And yeah, I know, Bungle. And so I'm bankrupt, trying to do a bankruptcy charity. Ironically, fell on my sword. Had to fall on my sword in order to protect the charity thing. Righto, Liam. See you later. And Liam collects. Don't forget. And so I've got no money. I'm bankrupt. Got no job. I've got no prospects. I've got nothing coming in. Our dog Hector, which is the Alsatian that you see on my website, that's in a picture. Bye bye, Liam. Hector, he was about to die. He was about a week, 2 weeks away from dying. I didn't know. And me and my partner had got to the worst that it could ever be. She doesn't mind me talking about it. It was the worst ever. We were about to split up. You could not have somebody in a worse position than what I was then. I promise you that. And I'm up on the beach and I'm running Hector and I'm giving him a run and I'm feeling sorry for myself and I've got my head down and I've got my coat on and it's horrible weather and everything else. And I did actually look at the sea. This is the first time I've ever done it, the live stream. I've never done it before. And guess the bank I got my cue from, Barclays. And I was in such a bad position, I literally did think about it. I looked at the water and I thought, but I don't like the cold. So, standing there and I put my hand in my pocket and all I had was a 2008 penny. I pulled my pocket out and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, really? That's the sum of my life, is it? 50? I was 50. Right, it's the sum of my life at 50. And what am I going to do? And I looked at it and I thought, I wonder if, I had the idea a couple of years before, I wonder if people would, I wonder if people would, that's good, that is. I wonder if, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I keep forgetting where I am. Oh yeah. So, I'm looking at this penny and I'd had the idea a couple of years before, would people collect coins the way they do stamps? Because if somebody collects stamps, they want one of every one. So if they make 20 different 3p stamps, then they want to collect each one. And I thought, well, I wonder if they do that with the years. So I listed the penny, sold it for £2. Literally, that's how I did it. And I thought, oh, and I got some more pennies, and I listed them, and I sold them. And I got some 2p's, and I listed them, and I sold them. And it was coming up to my birthday, and my dad felt a bit sorry for me, and he gave me £200, and he said, do not spend this on bills. Do not spend it on anything to do with any of that kind of stuff. This is for you, for your birthday, and you're to spend it on something for you. And I put that £200 in a drawer, and I never touched it. And I'm still doing this with the pennies and going down getting a few pennies, and I started selling the pennies, and I'm selling more, people coming along buying 6 and 8 and 10. And I'm starting to earn a few quid. And I took 20 quid out of the drawer and I went and got 20 quid worth of pennies and 2p's and 5p's and I started sorting them out in dates and I listed them for sale. And now I'm starting to realise which are the hard ones to get because I'm not getting many of them and I'm not getting many of them. 1982, can't find any. I started off selling them at £1. They would sell out very quickly, so I put the price up to £1.95. They sell out very quickly, put the price up to £2.95. That's how you do it with retail. You push it and see where it goes. And then I took a real big gamble. I went upstairs and I dug the rest of the 180 quid out that my dad had given me. And I really thought about it. And I thought, is this for me? It is for me. So I went and down a bank. John took me down a bank and I spent the 180 quid. And then now we're into 5p's, 10p's, 20p's, and we're starting to get up there and we're getting some 50p's in and all that. And then I started getting some 50p's and selling them commemoratives and one thing and another. And that was 7 years ago, Andy, from one single solitary 2008 penny. And I can promise you now, I've got more than, at retail price, I've got more than £1 million of stock. Probably closer to 2 million in 7 years from that. And all I did was every bit of profit I made, every bit of money I made, other than what I had to give over a bit for the household to try and put a bit towards it. Fran was carrying me at this time. I mean, we were in a really bad place, about to split up, but she was carrying me and paying. And I just put everything into it. I paid John what I could, and you wouldn't believe what he worked for. I mean, at that time, he was working for less than £100 a week because I wasn't earning the money to pay him. And then things picked up, and they picked up, and they picked up, and they didn't stop picking up. And it just kept going and going and going, and then we started employing people to do the searching for us, for the shrapnel, for the pennies and the 2p's and all that sort of stuff. House tour or stockroom tour or collection tour. Bungle, I never get tired of this story. It is the gospel. It is absolutely gospel. I really can't tell you. Honestly. That penny saved my life, saved my marriage. God, what's the matter with you tonight? That penny did an awful lot for me. And yeah, I'd love a hug. And Fran ain't here. It's too dark to show you outside. Or shall I? Shall I have a go? No, I'm not bothered about showing. I'm not bothered about someone knocking on the door with an iron bar. I got Casper. He would rip their throat out. That is the best guard dog I could possibly have. He is the best thing I could have. You know? If you're going to deal in money, if there's one bit of good advice I can give you, if you're going to have a lot of money in the house, then you need a best friend. You need a best friend with a nice set of gnashers to protect you and protect that money. What do you do if it's raining? Where do you film? Well, it ain't raining in my house. This is where I do it. It's too cold out there and it's too dark. But so that's my story, Andy. That is the God's honest truth. That's what that penny did for me, and it's where I am now. And so shall we go on a tour? I'm going to blow my nose first. Just excuse me 1 second. I don't know, can you pause these things? Please excuse me 1 sec. Apologies. Cool. Apologies. I had to go and blow my nose. God, do you know what? I haven't welled up so much in God knows how long. These things make you think, don't they? You make you think, and then you can't stop it. All right then, I'll take you on a trip. But please bear in mind that this is my house, and it ain't the tidiest. Doing about 1,008 Flopsy Bunnies. Yeah, see, they're hard. They're hard to get. All right. Does this allow you to flip the screen around? Oh, okay. Now we're cooking. All right, now please don't mind if I just point the camera at the floor sometimes, because again, it is my house and I don't want to get into trouble from Fran for revealing too much personal stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, here we've got boxes full of RAF Vulcan, RAF Sea King, Spitfire, a badge, RAF Lightning. Down here, this is all ready to go to the lockup, this sort of stuff. You can see what's down here, all been sorted. What are they? I can't even see. 50p's, 10p's. This is all stuff that's been sorted and it's all going down the lockup. Anyway, you don't want to see that necessarily. So, map. There's a map of the country. And everywhere you see one of them stickers is where we've got somebody. And these are all people that are putting out the Peter Rabbits that you're going to hope to find. Look at that, right over in Wales. Up there. Up there. And up there. And Andy is right in the middle of them two. So, that's that. Where are we going to go now? Let's have a look. Here's your Peter Rabbits. What ones haven't gone out yet? Half of them have gone out. That's the other half. And they're all... I do that every now and again, just to mess them up a bit. So, this is Kelly's desk. Yeah, I hope so, coins and more. This is Kelly's desk. So when someone wants a coin, and these are really good ideas. So Andy, Bungle, have a look at these. These are good ideas. These little tiny boxes. Brilliant idea they are. They really help. So that gives you an idea of these are every single one of these boxes, by the way. These little boxes. These are all 50p's. Okay, all 50p's. So then we go up to here. And you can see what 50p's those are. Certain ones I never let go, no matter how many I get. As I told Bungle the other day, one coin that a lot of you guys throw back, that really you shouldn't throw back, is the old Boy Scouts. And the reason that you shouldn't throw it back is because the Americans like to buy it. Ben Wilson. Oh no, he's talking to Coin Cupboard, that's all right. Right, so then we go up to here, look at some of them. And then we come up to Belfast, upside down, and Belfast right and correct. We come up here even more, penguins, and up here even more. And then we go here. So now we start the £2, and they're all at the back here. And we come along here, and then we come into more 50p's. So where are we? 50p shield. That's your Britannias. Complete drawer full of them. Doesn't matter how many you get, you don't let them go. You keep them for as long as, you just do not let them go, Britannias. We'll come up to here, we've got in there a load of D-Days, original D-Days that is, 97.99, used, 60s, 70s, uncirculated. You see UMC on a lot of mine. Again, when we first started 7 years ago, we didn't know what UNC was. We didn't know what bunks was. We didn't know anything. It's probably because the Royal Mint is just, you know, scaremongering again. So, and then we go over here, WWF, uncirculated. Where are they? So there they are. We've got a few of those still. Uncirculated rabbits from 2016. Where's the camera bit? That was not a particularly good one. We'll chuck that in the circulated, I think. But anyway, that's the original Peter Rabbit. They're worth about, the original Peter Rabbit 2016 is actually worth about a fiver now. Tiggy Winkle the same, worth about a fiver. Even though they minted quite a lot of them, 5 million. You see, you're into that 5 million thing, which I need to come back to, don't I? So then we go over there. These are all uncirculated, 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 and uncirculated. And then up here, we've got more £2 along the next row. Don't want to go too fast. So this is where they all go. And like I say, certain coins, I just don't let them go. I will not let them go under any circumstances. Jersey, Isle of Man, Guernsey, some 2019 10p's. And then, if we come back a bit, over the top, so let's chuck that out of the way. So if we come back slightly, as far as I can, before bumping into the other desk. And at the top shelf, on the top is all the 2018 10p's. And underneath them are the 2019 10p's. And this is nothing compared to what I've got in storage, I must admit. And then we've got a little, oh, running out of battery now. And then we've got a little thing there with loads of those on it. Just talk about coins all day. I could hang out with you all day. You wouldn't, I'd bore you to tears. All right, so we'll come out of the office there. Oh, that's Logan's desk. This is where Logan sits and does his work. I sit there. That's my one. There's some, there is a letter of providence ready to go to the next person that's putting out. Kelly's over there, and this is John's desk. Nice and compact. Right, so now we go to the garage. You're going to like this one. You don't want to see my kitchen. It is getting too dark now, look. You can't see the bottom of my garden, so we'll have to do that another day, but we'll come in here. Okay, so let's walk back into the garage. This is a garage. Don't look much. But if we come in, there are your pennies, starting at the top, 71 and so on. You see 82 there, only a couple in there. Right, these are pennies, then we come down here. All the pennies all the way up to the latest date. Then we're on the 2p's. See them all? Seven years of doing this. Hundreds of thousands of pennies and 2p's we've been through, and that is the sum total of my 2008 feathers after all these years. And they, 3-4 quid each, up to a fiver all day long. Remember, this is a retail perspective. Half P's, the old little tiny half P. We'll have to be quick because my battery's going. 5 P's. To 2015. 10 P's. All the excess, little box of every one, all the excess in storage. It's about close on 2 million, I think. Retail price, that is, of course. And then we come, what's this one? 20 P's. These are your 20 P's. Then down here in the old takeaway pots, we've got uncirculated 5 P's and uncirculated 20 P's. Then we go over to, that's the fridge, 10 P's. Up to 2017. And we come over here, and in a lot of these boxes which need filling up at the moment, we've got some more half P's over here. I'm sorting this out in here, so there's bits and pieces. And then, where are we? Yeah, all these boxes have got things in. This is your like. This is where we come and get them when we're posting, you see, so we top up in here. Here's your Peter Rabbits. And others. What else? What else? What else? Some of these still in the process. These are getting ready to go, and these are excess. So these are getting ready to be stock taked and go down to the storage. All uncirculated, this lot here. So this is all your 2 P's uncirculated. Uncirculated. Do you have any notes? Scottish ones like? See Andy. Because I had all mine nicked. I'll come to that in a minute, but all the ones I got in Scotland, they all got nicked. I think we should have a giveaway for Ian's coin stash. Laugh out loud, I'm in amazement right now. 7 years. 7 years of graft, let me tell you. 18 hours a day sometimes, you know. Move over a little bit. Oh yeah, I've got a load of these. Oh, they're all bumper stickers and things. And there. Right. And then, if we come, so here's my kitchen again, right? If I come out of the kitchen, I've got a box outside. Got to be sorted out. I don't know if you can see it. No, you ain't going to be able to see it. Sorry about the crappy video bit. So, we're coming back into the house. Oops. You've got to switch the camera around, you Wally. Just bear with me when I put this back. Haha. That's it. Well, that's not it, because we've got probably 100,000 coins in the garden, just lying in the garden. More, probably 200,000 coins in the garden, or something like that. And I use boxes, garden boxes, and that sort of thing. I've got a dustbin, well, several dustbins actually, at the bottom of the garden, where we will be putting a lot of the excess copper. Copper, let me tell you, is a good, hello again Liam. Liam collects, he's back. Let me tell you that when I first started this and we was in that house and we concentrated on pennies and 2p's because it was cheap and because I had no money, right? So, pardon me, yes, we are still looking for circulators. Your collection is amazing, you should start doing two. I don't think anybody would be interested in coming and having a look at my coins. honestly. But we had no garden. We had no room at the house that we was in. It was a minging house when we started. We was at the pits at that point. It was the worst house I've ever lived in. There was damp underneath the floor. When the water comes in from the sea, the water underneath the floor would raise because the house was lower than the sea level. So I had a dustbin in the garden, and I filled it up with pennies. And I can tell you that an ordinary sized dustbin, just a normal dustbin with dustbin lid, not the wheelie things, an ordinary sized dustbin will hold £1,000 in pennies easily. And I had £1,000 in there. And people used to say to me, "You're mental. Someone can just jump over the fence and nick them." And every time somebody said that to me, I say, "Come on, me, come on." And I take them out in the garden, and I lift the lid off the bin, and I'd say to them, "You grab what you can and see how far you can run." And they'd only pick up one bag or two bags and then realise the silliness of what they're saying. It's like the most anybody could run away with is 20 or 40 quid's worth of pennies, and even then they wouldn't be running anywhere. They would be hobbling down the road, so it wouldn't be hard to catch them. Do you know what I mean? So you can be, this is my first time streaming, Liam. This is so you can put thousands of pounds worth of product in your garden, and it is literally as safe as houses. From the point of view that what are they gonna do? You know, you go and get 20 quid's worth of pennies from the bank. A big bag of it's £20 a bag. That's 2,000 coins in a bag. You pick up one of them bags, 20 quid, go into a bank, pick one up, and then see how far you can run with it. That's how safe the coins are in your garden. Do you know what I mean? So I utilised that, and I thought, right, that was my stockyard, because I had no room to put it anywhere else. But here, I've got some of them great big bins, and they are full of pennies. I think I did one on the penny. If you search penny in the pond, you'll see my penny in the pond video, where I do tell the story of how I started, and show you my pond that I'm very passionate about and very proud of, and I actually show you the cupboard. And what's in it, you know, and it is just full. And you can see the rare dates. You can see what dates are hard to get and why I sell them more expensive, because, you know, I charge £2 for a penny because that penny's hard to find. It's not easy to find. You know, I'll tell you one to look out for. I can't tell you how to do it though on here, but the 1997 penny. Now, for about 5 different runs, so you got 93 for definitely, 94 for definitely, 97 for definitely, and I can't remember the others. Might be 91, 92. But they have, if you look at the portcullis on the back, where you've got the things like that, right? And it's the bit so on the back, the portcullis is a bit like that. And where it joins there, where the bars cross, like that there, right? They made a type 1, what's called a type 1. You can search this on Google yourself, and they made a type 2. Have you got a coppers jar? No. No, I haven't got a coppers jar. I've got coppers dustbins. I've got more than 250,000 coppers out there. That bit there, right? It's that bit there. And some of them are like a rivet, so they look like a rivet over the portcullis gate, and some of them are not. And you have a type 1 and a type 2, and the really, really rare one is the 1997. The 1997, and I don't know which type it is because I can't remember. There's type 1, there's type 2. One of them, all over the place. The other one, you can't find. They're really, really difficult to find. And I'm talking at least a £5. So you're looking for between 5 and 10 quid for that penny. It's as rare to find, or hard to find, as a 72. It's easier to find than a 72, so it's a little bit less money, but they're still difficult to find, and it then takes some time when you're there and you're really looking and looking and looking at those rivets and stuff. You have to look at it under a magnifying glass. But if you find it, yeah, if you find it, Andy, I'm telling you, 5 to 10 quid every one you find. I have got no 1997 pennies at all, and I've been doing this 7 years, right? I've got none of the other one because I've sold them all. As fast as I find one, they go. So, I need to go to the garage. I'll have to end this in a minute. You can't want me to stay on here anymore anyway. One thing I do want to know, does anyone have a local? These pennies. Yeah. It's true about the penny. I mean, there are so many pennies that are worth good money. You know, the 1982 penny. Called me Josh. All right, Josh. The well, I only mention your nationwide thing because, you know, trying to get you a little couple of hits. Pennies and 2p's are left alone so much, and that's because the likes of you, Andy, and Bungle, and a lot of the others tend to concentrate more on the 50p's and the £2 because that's what's interesting. There's nothing interesting about a penny. Do you know Chris was going for what's a world record doing what? What's he going for a world record doing? We did 100,000 pennies is £1,000. We did that twice. We did 100,000 pennies in a week. I don't know what happened there. It went poof. Yeah. So your non-release coins, you know, your sets, things like that. 1972 penny, 1983 penny. Forget the others. 84 as well. The ones that they didn't release. You'll find them. You will find them. And when you find them, they're 15 quid. You find a 1972 penny, it's 15 quid. You find an uncirculated one, it's 20 quid. I sell them for those prices all the time. All the time. And when I run out, and I haven't got one, and somebody's just bought one, I just... Christopher Collects needs to get 51,500 pennies from the year 2000. Why? Why? What's that? What's the point? What's that for? I can help him out with some of them. I've got shed loads. How many does he want? How many does he need? Chris, are you on? How many do you need? To beat what record? For a world record? Yeah. What record? What are we talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Remember, compared to a lot of you, I'm a Philistine. I know nothing. What I know is buying and selling. That's what I know. That's what I've known all my life. I don't know coins. So I don't sort of keep up with the coin community. I've got a customer that sends me a coin newspaper. Every time he gets one, he reads it and sends it to me. I don't get a chance to read them. So I've got no idea what you're talking about, and I haven't seen his video. What's he wanting for? Come on, Bungle, tell me. What's he wanting for? Time for the kids to go to bed, yeah. Oh, we're supposed to be having a chat. Coins and notes. Yeah, what's the time? 8:30. Give me a ring when the kids have gone to bed. And then I'll come off. Why is what silver? But yeah, you find all those pennies, 2p. There are a lot of rare ones. Those 2008 feathers are good and all because you're looking at 4 or 5 quid. You know. He's trying to get the most coin from the same year. Come on, Bungle, take one for the team. How is that a world record? I'm really sorry. I'm coming across really thick now because I have no idea. Christopher needs over 51,000 of pennies dated 2000 for the. Yeah, I know. Bungle. Everyone keeps saying it's for the record. What record are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. The most amount of coin from the 1 year. Yeah, but how is that a world record? To have so many coins from 1 year. The easiest coin to collect surely is going to be the 1971 because you get more of them than any others. Yeah, it's for the record, Ian. I know, Andy. Everyone keeps saying it's for the record. What record? What record are you talking about? What, just somebody, if somebody owns 51,000 pennies of the same year, they've broken a record of some description. Is that what it is? Just look at his channel. World record. But that's not a collection, Bungle. That's just all the same year. Yeah, but he says more people. No, I don't get it. I don't get it. Not at all. I'm seriously missing something here. The world record must be like 50. That is a current world record. And to beat that, he needs to collect more. Okay, I get. Yeah. Is it? So if somebody just has 50,000 coins from the same year, then that's. But it has to be from the same year. Why can't it be from any year? Oh, I see. Okay. I'll join. I might join in with that then. Matt, you make sure you call me after. Yeah, go on. Got you. I think I've got you now. Thank you. I understand. Catch up with you later. Cheers. Okay, so now I understand. Thank you, Dave. So if somebody has more than 50,000 coins of the same year, that's a world record. Mental. Wait till I tell John. John will say to me, but you've got more than 50,000 coins of the same year down there. You've had them for a couple of years. So we'll have a little look at that and see. And unless Christopher is doing it on the basis that he wants to find them himself, as it were. If he wants a hand with that, then tell him to give me a shout because I can help him. I'm not bothered I'm not bothered about owning a world record. He can have it, but I'll help him get the coins together. And I've got thousands of 2,000. I've got thousands of most years, really. Thousands of them. Okay. I need another smoke. He's asking people to send him year 2000s. Okay. Well, I can definitely do that for him. He's going to do something nice for us. He said that he would be looking at putting them out. I mean, he hasn't actually said, I will say, he hasn't actually said, yes, I will do it. Pardon me. But I believe he might be up for it. So one good turn deserves another. I literally have got hundreds, thousands of that year. So you can have loads of them. You know, he can have tons of them, tons and tons and tons of them. We'll help him do the record, and then he's got the record, and then we'll have a bit of fun. We'll all get together, and then we'll beat the record, and then we'll have a bit of fun, and we'll try and beat that record, eh? If there's a world record of smashing 60 melons in 2 minutes, you can't. I've missed it. it went. The fruit gate of coins. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm going to roll a fag, so excuse me for 1 second. It's my last one, and then I've got to go up the garage because my wife's buggered off to Greece and she's took all the fags. I just noticed I ain't got any. It's outrageous. Shouldn't be allowed. I should have told her. She could have watched this live. I could go, hello Fran, love you lotsies. Well, I didn't get it. It wasn't you that made it confusing, it was me. I just didn't get it. It takes me a while, so I told you earlier, didn't I? I'm about as subtle as a brick. And twice as dense, sometimes. You know, there are some things I just don't get, and yet there are other things that I get in a fraction of a second. Like when I was opening those Peter Rabbits. You know, I didn't think of it at first. And then after I took them all out and emptied the packets, I sort of looked at the box of rubbish and thought, that's actually ephemera now. And that's collectible in its own right. It took me a while, but I got there. Just bear with me 1 second. I know it's rude, I'm sorry. Couch. Got a lovely couch, but I have to protect it with this. How many 2017 shields do you have? Couple of thousand probably. Have you been to the Royal Mint Experience or are you banned? Well, I've never been. I would like to go, and if I'd love to have gone and met you guys. I really would have loved that. But no, I've never been. I would like to go. I'd like to go with somebody though, because my wife doesn't fancy going, and it's one of those things where I don't really fancy going on my own, you know. And it's a long way too with my issues. I have the stoma issues that I've got, and that makes a difference on where I go now, and whether I go out and things like that. I try not to let it bother me, and I try not to let it interfere with my life, but at the same time, to go on a long distance, pardon me, and to get caught out and get in trouble, that frightens the life out of me. So I don't really go many places. Okay, I would meet up. I'd meet up with you. I'd meet up with anybody. You flatter me too much, Bungle. I'm in Weymouth. Weymouth in Dorset. I think, you know, people like you, Bungle, Andy, I mean, you're sitting there watching this drivel. Honestly, you need to go doctors. I can't believe I'm 56 years old and I cannot believe that there are 32 people, 32 of you sitting there watching me talk drivel, drink a Scotch and Coke and have a fag. My head, it won't allow me to get around it. Yeah, I'm totally up for it, honestly. Try a Scottish accent, I'm no good at that kind of thing, you know. The only thing I can say in Scottish is, it's Malta, something like that. I used to be with a Scottish woman. She used to drive me crackers because she would be English, so we would talk in English, as it were. And then the moment she started talking to a Scottish person, she changed, and she's talking in a Scottish accent. And I'd be like, what? It was like a different woman coming in. Do you know what I mean? Just bear with me 1 second. My wife's just arrived safe. Hello, buddy. Friends arrived safe, but has phone issues. Hugs. That's my brother-in-law. Thanks, guys. Streaming on YouTube. Tell friend. Cool. Apologies. So, ask me something that I know a little bit about. Silver coloured 2p. I need answers. Does anybody know? Yeah, I can answer that for you. There were some. No, Chase Checker are just up the road from me, Andy. It's another reason why I fell out of them, because they're just up the road, and I order from the Royal Mint. It goes all the way over to the Netherlands, and then it comes from the Netherlands back to me, and then I have to send it wherever I'm sending it to. They get it delivered straight away. They get it the next day. Even on a brand new release, I can't get it for at least 2 weeks after it's released, but they get it the next day. They get it before it's out, before it's done. So how do you keep the comments so that you can see them? Because they just go, psh, they go. Ever so quick. Also, here, Bungle, could you do me a favour, do you think? When I was talking to, when I saw Christopher Collects on here, and I went onto his live stream, I was able to pay him some money, wasn't I? How does that work? Because a couple of people have asked me and I don't know. Oh, Silver 2p answer, yeah, so, sorry. Yeah, so what happens is, it's the, what do they call it, the planchet or something? It's the blank, call it the blank, right? The blank bit of metal. And sometimes they use like, like the material the 10p's made out of and the material the 20p's made out of, and sometimes, I suppose, putting it into layman's terms, it's a case of like, if someone hasn't done their job properly and cleaned the machines properly, suddenly there's a silver one goes into circulation when it shouldn't be. It should be copper. And when that happens, those coins are seriously worth money. Now, the only way, what you've got to do is, you've got to send that coin to the Royal Mint, enclose a cheque for £20, because they're really funny. 1 minute they're doing it for free and the next minute they're charging £20. They can't decide whether they want to do it for free or charge £20. You know, I had an argument with them about that, and I ended up sending them a cheque for 40 quid, and the cheque never got cashed and I never got the coins back. It happens. But send it signed for delivery. I would suggest, knowing my mistake, not to send it normal signed for, but send it special delivery. Next day by 1 o'clock, because that's tracked, whereas normal signed for delivery is not tracked. No, okay, thanks. Do us a favour, Bungle. See if you can send me £1. I'll give it back to you. But does your phone, like when you go to send a message and that, or your computer or whatever, does it allow you to, because that's what it was on mine, it just came up and I could just press the button. Anyway, so that's how they go into circulation. So you get one of those, send it to the Mint, special delivery, little letter, please would you check this out for me, is this a fake or is it real? And if they send it back to you with a letter of provenance, you've got a coin that's worth hundreds of pounds, I reckon anyway. That's my humble opinion. That's how you should do it. Send it to them. Now and again, yeah, it does go missing. You can't trust them 100%, but there's no one else that can value it. There's no one else that can tell you if it's real. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to trust them. And I've only had one package go missing, and it just happens to be this package with 2 coins in it with 2 towels. And I wanted them verified to make sure that they were real, but they just went missing. So yeah, that's probably how she got it. But they are about, there are silver ones about, and they're worth a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know how that monetisation works. You tell me when you're ready, Matt, and I'll come offline and we can have a chat. Don't do it on camera, there's children watching. Mustn't smoke. So, what for? Ah, see. Well, I was playing around with the settings before I started, but couldn't work it out. But maybe because you have to be partnered with them or something. Because, I mean, I can work out how people pay, but I can't work out how you get the money. How do they pay you? Of course, your undated 20p. Now, that's a good one to talk about. What if I was to tell you that you have more chance finding an undated 20p than you have a Kew Gardens? And I can prove it to you. If you want me to prove it to you, go and get a 20p right now and go and get a 50p. And I'll prove it to you, absolutely prove it to you, how you can find undated 20p's more than you can Kew Gardens 50p. Oh, bless your heart, thank you so kind. So go and get a 50p and go and get a 20p. Andy, you do the same. Bungle, you do the same, right? Matt, you go and do the same. Go and get a 20p, go and 50p, and tell me on here, get a comment on here and tell me, okay, I've got them. Go and get them, one of each. Come back, I want to see a couple of people say, okay, I've got them. Because I'm not going to waste my breath if no one's actually going to look at it. So you've got to look at it, and I want to show you, and I want to prove it to you right now, how you can find more undated 20p's than you ever will at Kew Gardens. While I take a puff. Come on, you must have one there, Matt. You must have a 20p and a 50p. Okay, that's someone. Good. Someone's got it. Richard, thank you. You've got yours in hand. Right, now. I want you to put those 2 coins in your hand. Got them? Okay, cool. Cheers, Andy. Put those 2 coins in your hand and put them tail sides up. Right? Tail sides up. Now close your eyes. Seriously, close your eyes for a second. And I want you to open your eyes for just a second or two. Look at what's in your hand. There, away from you. Not up like that. There, right? Close your eyes, and then open your eyes just for a couple of seconds and close them again. Right? What you will find is immediately, in a fraction of a second, an absolute fraction of a second, you have recognised what that 50p is. It's not taken you a blink of an eye to recognise what that 50p is. Please don't be bad to Bungle. I'm 60. No, Janet, I'm not bad to Bungle. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I'm not bad to Bungle, I promise. So, in a fraction of a second, your eyes have immediately noticed that 50p. Immediately. Every single time you get change in a shop and you look at your change, fraction of a second, just like that, you've noticed that 50p. What you cannot notice in that same amount of time, what's impossible to notice in that same amount of time, is whether or not that 20p is undated. I told you the wrong thing. You should have the 20p head side up. So that in that second when you look at it, so do it again, head side up, tail side up, close your eyes for a second, open them, take one look, close your eyes. In a second you've recognised the 50p. You ain't going to see the date on the 20p, you've got to do that. You've got to take something and you've got to look at it. And you've got to make sure it's a shield, and you've got to turn it over, and you've got to look at the date. That takes time. People don't do that. People don't people don't check their 20p's that quick. It's impossible to check your 20p's that quick. That's all right, enjoy Supermarkets Week. It's impossible to check a 20p that quick. You can't do it. Your eyes won't do it. Your mind won't do it. Your brain won't do it. It's not possible. And you check this out, all of you, right? You check this out when you go and get change next. You look at the 20p's. It's going to take you seconds and minutes, as it were. It's going to take you 30 seconds, 60 seconds to look at the 20p. If it took you that long to look at the 50p's, you'd get fed up and you wouldn't bother. But you recognise the 50p's in a millisecond. Same with the £2 coins, because your eyes, boom, picture, got it. Second, millisecond, you've got it, and it's registered and it's in the brain. But a 20p, you don't even notice. Even now, you, Andy, and Bungle, and Matt, even though you do the coin thing, I bet you that so many times you get 20p's in your change and you don't think to look. Because it's not ingrained. The ingrained bit on everybody, the ingrained bit is Kew Gardens, Kew Gardens, Kew Gardens, Kew Gardens. Now it's Kew Gardens, Puddle Duck, Kew Gardens, Puddle Duck. And that's what you're looking for. But 20p's, you don't, do you? You don't give them a second thought sometimes, and you certainly don't give them the time they deserve to look at them. So that's the proof to you, as it were, that there are far more undated 20p's out there than you will ever find Kew Gardens, because you've got about, how many do I have? Probably about 50 undated 20p's, maybe 100, maybe 50, something like that. We sell them for 89 quid each. People sell them for cheaper, but I value them at 89 quid, and they sell at 89 quid. And people will pay me 89 quid, I promise you, people will pay me 89 quid rather than pay somebody else 65 quid, because we've been going a long time and they trust us. And we never sell a fake coin. Never, ever, ever sell a fake coin. And if someone says to me, "You've sold me a fake coin," I check that coin out, because I never, ever, ever sell a fake coin, and they're guaranteed to get their money back from me. You know, they're guaranteed that we will do right by them. Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. 200,000. There's a lot of controversy over the figure of the amount of them that are in circulation, but 200,000 is about right. It's about the same as the Kew Gardens, really. It's not much difference. Which is why they're valued at the same price, because I value them at the same price, because they are roughly the same amount in circulation as there are the Kew Gardens, and they are just as difficult to find. In fact, they're harder to find, because you have to look harder for them, if you see what I mean. I'm just going to jump my jumper on because I'm cold. So there's your proof, and you prove it to yourself by just doing that test a few times, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It takes, even though someone will go, "Yeah, but it still only takes seconds." Well, 30 seconds to check a coin don't sound like a lot, you know, but a millisecond to check a 50p, millisecond. 30 seconds a coin, 40 seconds a coin, takes too long. You know, you want to walk away from the counter. Someone's just giving you some change. You want to walk away, put it in your pocket, and off you go. Do your bit. You don't want to stand there looking at dates and checking and checking and checking. And people don't do it, and that's why. So I hope that helps, and I hope that helps a lot of you start searching your 20p's. I've bought 2 bulk lots of undated 20p's. None of them are fake, and I think that the person, I don't know this for definite, but it would make sense to me that the person I'm buying them from, who's buying them from someone else, excuse me, that person's probably just searching 20p's. You could make a good living out of just searching 20p's if you had the time. It would be too difficult for me to switch in that area now, but if I had my time over again, I would search a lot more 20p's. I'd have done 20p's from the beginning. And I would leave, pardon me, I'm the kind of guy that would leave the Kew Gardens alone and go, no, everybody else is chasing that. You know, let them chase that, and I'll just nice and quietly chase this because I'll get a lot more of them, if you see what I mean. So there's your undated 20p. And of course, as I always say, everything I talk about, when I talk about prices and everything I'll give you, well, that's based on, you know, I'm your retailer in your pocket. That's what I am, if you like. I'm the retailer that's in your pocket. You come to me and you find out what they're really, really worth, as in top value. You know? So like per member, I value that at a tenner, and it will sell at a tenner. You know, you saw the takeaway boxes I've got out there. I haven't got a takeaway box full of per members, so they're not that common. They are common, but they're not that common, and they're worth a tenner, especially to a worldwide market. They're worth a tenner. I missed those two comments. I'm really, really sorry. Someone asked me for a shout out, and someone else said something about a 20p. I missed it. Anyway, are all 40 agents allocated? No, Richard, they're not. We're still waiting for another 10. We're still waiting for about another 10 people. You saw the box earlier on. I showed you there's still some in there. So we're probably about another 10. We've probably posted off about 200. Yeah, a good half of the coins. We've posted off about 200, 250 of the coins, maybe more. So we're just waiting now to, we want people that are going to be in between the areas that we've already got. So if I've got someone here and I've got someone over there, I need someone in the middle type thing. So if any of you go for this, please, pardon me, please don't be offended if we haven't chosen you, because it's probably because you're next to someone else. Or the worst thing is that we've been encountering is people are emailing by the dozen, going, I want to do this, I want to do this. There's so many people want to get involved, and then John goes to check and they're not a member of the site. Well, we're not going to send you anything if you're not a member of the site, because we can't guarantee your address is right. Found a few, one bag of 250s, £250 for 20p's. Yeah, it's they're not easy to do. Richard, I'm offered, I'm in Ipswich, Suffolk. Yeah, it's worth emailing John, but you've got to make sure Glasgow good. Glasgow, we've already got somebody. We've got somebody Glasgow, we've got somebody Edinburgh, and we've now got Andy in between and doing up and above. So the Scotland area is covered. But that don't matter. That don't waste you being a customer, because we will have you on the next one. Okay? So don't worry about that. Even if you're not involved in this one, we'll call you for the next one. But you must be a customer. I'm not going to send these 11 coins to somebody that's not a customer and I don't know that their address is real. You know, it's just it's not going to happen. There's too many people relying on this. And we're now in about 20 newspapers. The Sun Online has printed it as well. So we're in the Sun, we're in the, I probably did, Matt, but I haven't seen it. But it's probably there, but you're already in there. You're guaranteed, Matt, so don't worry. I've sorted that for you. You and Andy definitely guaranteed, and so is Christopher if he's in. September weekend. Yeah. Make sure you're a customer, and make sure you email John. That's what I say, because John decides pretty much on who is doing it. I only pick a couple of people. Like I'll go to John and I'll say I want this person doing it, and I want that person definitely, like Andy. I said to John I want Andy doing it, and I want Dave Bungle, and I want if Christopher Collects come on, him doing it, and Matt, wherever he is, I want him doing it. So there's a couple of exceptions that I make, but for the most part, that's John's decision. You know, he'll just give me a label and say, I want 11 coins for that person, and I'll send it to that person. So you do have to make sure you're a customer. But, you know, that's not about rinsing money out of you either, because you can use the voucher code FIVER, capital F and lowercase IVER, and you go and get yourself £5 worth of free guides or coins or whatever you want. I think I ought to call it a day now. I've enjoyed myself for a couple of hours, I think. It's given me something to do. Thank you very much. Yeah, it must have been 2 hours. It gave me something to do. It's taken up a bit of my evening. You're more than welcome. Just use the voucher code. And the thing is, Andy, if you can, and I say this to people, if you can be bothered, because I know I waffle on a bit, and some of my videos just send people to sleep. But in a lot of the updates and a lot of the videos that we've done over the last year, there are vouchers, and those vouchers are undated, so you can just, you know, you're free to use them. What we don't have is we won't have people opening up more than one account. Don't like that, using the same voucher code, because that's naughty. But we say to people, you're free to use all of the vouchers you can find. You're free to use all of them. Order after order after order after order. You can only use one voucher at a time, and if you want to just use voucher codes to get free coins, you can. Oh, that's so kind. I used it. Good. Excellent. Excellent. There's such nice people, and such nice comments. You know, it blows me away. It always blows me away. The things that customers have done. You know, in closing, just to tell you, you know, I don't think won't make me cry again. But I often talk about this one too. When I was under the knife a year ago, and nearly a year ago, we was at Christmas it was, and I was under the knife. I was on the operating table, and no one knew. Sorry, I apologise. And no one knew whether I'd make it or not. You know, we thought it was all going and stuff, and I was making arrangements to pop my clogs and arrange the funeral and one thing and another, even though we were all going through it and trying to be positive as we could. But the reason I mention this is because at that time, one of my customers put £5 into the business to keep us afloat while I was on the table. Can you? To me, in a lot of ways, that kind of thing defies comprehension. You know, you can't take that kind of kindness, faith. I mean, they are getting a return on it, but it's not the point. You know, and it's been non-stop since. I've been blown away by so many people and the kindness of so many people, and you know. I think one of the biggest things I've seen lately is 4 cans of soup. 4 cans of soup for 50p. Going into that food bank thing, you know. I think I've got to say that's got to be my best one so far. That's the best one I've seen so far, and to the people that did that, fantastic. So I'll finish there. I think I've bored everybody long enough. Thank you very much. 123 minutes. That's 2 hours. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Have a lovely evening and what's left of it, and a good week. And we'll catch up soon. Many thanks. Casper, come say bye-bye. Casper. Bugger. I must have left the bedroom door open. He's on my bed. Little sod's laying on my bed. When he don't come down, that's where he is. Thank you very much for being you. Good night. Once I figure out how to turn it off. There we go. Thank you very much. This has been Ian. Good night to